coins in the fountain, and the Vatican discovered, our next stop was the Colosseum. So if you're planning on spending a couple days in Rome, you may want to consider getting a Roma pass. It will cover entry to 2 sites and unlimited transportation plus some other discounts. The best part about it is you come to something like the Colosseum where there's this crazy line and you get to bypass it because you don't have to buy a ticket because you already have one. So here we go. We are checking out the Colosseum. We thought we would get to go pretty far ahead in line, but we just walked past hundreds of people because of this Roma pass. Definitely worth every single penny. And now we're gonna get a little audio guide. Once inside, we saw some very old statues and then watched some film reenactments of the battles that went on inside the Colosseum centuries ago. Then finally we entered the main stadium, and there it was, the Colosseum in all its magnificent glory. There was no denying it, the Colosseum was old and full of history. I can't even fathom what it would have been like to be at the Colosseum when it was a full functioning arena. So we're inside the Colosseum, and I thought I'd give you a little bit of a history tidbit about what's going on here. So, if we look around, there were 5 different levels of seating. So, at the bottom down here was 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. It's kind of hard to tell because there's no seats. They figure there was about anywhere between 40 to 70,000 seats inside the Colosseum, which is humongous. In the bottom, if you look over there, right here, yeah, that was just kind of how the floor looked, and that covered all this. There was sand on this area right here, and then down in the bottom, those are the basements where they kept all of the animals, the machinery, and weapons and all that kind of stuff. And from the bottom, from the floor, they actually had trap doors where stuff would come out from below, which made things more exciting, and whatever, animals would come running out. There was actually some whale was built, and when the whale's mouth opened, 50 bears came out. Pretty cool. And then there was a little story on the audio guide we were listening to that told us about this one emperor guy who they won this big battle, so he commissioned to have a fight in here, get this, with 10,000 warriors and 11,000 animals, or vice versa, I forget which is which. It's like 20,000 things down there, and they would just, it's kind of gruesome and awful. They would like slaughter animals and bears and lions and I don't even know, cougars and panthers and all this stuff. Hippopotamuses even. How terrible is that? Anyways, so lots of fights would go on here. Everyone would watch. It was free. The farther you were away from here, the lower your class. And I think that's the stuff that's most interesting. And I think we're going to head down to the lower section now, so maybe I'll have some more information specifically there. What's really cool about the Colosseum itself is that it was active around the 5th and 6th century, I believe. And then it actually wasn't used for its original purposes for quite some time. It was actually condemned by the Christians, and they used it actually as a garbage dump. So when they were building the Basilica and whatnot, they filled it full of earth, and yeah, it didn't really get used in 1,500 years. It didn't really get used that much for what it was actually built for. But that's the Colosseum for you. I think that pretty much sums it up.
Carrying on from the Colosseum, we set out to check out some more ruins, but you could only look at ruins for so long before you get a little stir-crazy. So I figured it was time for a little Roman glamour photo shoot. And the models? My mother and aunt.
Okay, girls, give me I love Rome.
I love Rome.
Yeah, oh, that's it. Work it. You know? Okay, a little higher in the cheeks, please. There we go. This is great. Canada's Next Top Model, here they come.
Oh.
After a quick break for some delicious Italian gelato, we were off to our last stop of Rome, St. Peter's Cathedral and St. Peter's Square. But when we arrived, well, we were encountered by a bit of a problem.
Okay, folks, so it's time for a little lesson/tip. I'm here at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, Italy. Check it out. It's sort of actually behind there. And as you can see, I don't have a shirt on. I'm, shirtless. That is because we got here and yesterday when we went to the Vatican, we followed the clothing guidelines. Usually at religious places, you need to have pants below the knee and shirts with shoulders or even down to your wrist in some places. So we followed those guidelines yesterday at the Vatican, but we forgot to do that today coming to the Basilica. And I have shorts on, but my mom, which they said was okay, but my mom has a tank top. So, in the spur of the moment, I whipped off my shirt and gave that to her so she could use it as a shawl. So she's in there with my aunt and with my shirt, and I am sitting out here half naked in one of the most religious squares in the entire world. St. Peter's Square, check it out, right there. Yeah, I'm rocking it out, half naked, using my backpack to give myself some decency. So make sure you wear the proper clothes or you either won't be admitted or you might end up buying an expensive shawl, which you won't want to do at the time. And yeah, hopefully they're done soon because everyone's staring at me. But it's all good because they will see the Basilica and hopefully someday I will be back and I can see it again. And they're closing the gates, so I definitely won't be seeing it today. But that's a lesson. Bring the stuff, or you'll end up like me, shirtless, in the Vatican.
Lucky for me, my mom came back pretty quickly, so I convinced the security guard to let me go in to take a look.
Alright, I got my shirt back, and now I'm in St. Peter's Basilica, and it is massive. It's the biggest church I've ever been in. Look at that.
All the people look like little ants walking around this massive cathedral. At one time, this church represented the most powerful religion in the world. St. Peter's Square and Cathedral was a great way to finish off bold and beautiful Rome. Next time on Backpack with Brock, I make my third and final stop in Pisa, en route to the city on water, Venice. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment, or you can subscribe by clicking on me right here. Thanks for watching.